Hi, welcome back, and let's have a look at Le Mans Ultimate. Now, I've been kind of looking forward to stroke dreading this particular one, given that it's a Motorsport Games title. And the last Motorsport Games title I had a look at was NASCAR Ignition, and to say that that title was a dumpster fire would be... well, being kind, actually. It was absolutely awful. I will link above to my video on that. I did an initial look. I never went back to it, in all honesty, and still, well, I might do just to see if it is still as terrible as it was, but I'm not sure I dislike myself that much. Now, the good news about Le Mans Ultimate is... I was actually pleasantly surprised. I really was. Now, I'm going to quickly run through some pros and cons based on my initial impressions with the title, and it is important to note that this is an early access title. They put it out as an early access and they priced it accordingly, £25 here in the UK, which I don't think is too bad at all. Right, so let's start with the pros first of all. Well, and this may sound like a minimum bar to achieve for a pro, but given NASCAR Ignition, it is an important one, and that is it's playable. So it's fairly bare bones in terms of modes. You've got race weekend and you've got online, and that literally is about it, apart from, you know, your usual settings that you would expect, etc. But the fact that it is playable after NASCAR Ignition is indeed a pro, and I can't describe it as anything else. Next up, we've got the fact that it appears to be fairly well set up. I had some pleasant surprises. So, for example, when I first jumped into it, my wheel and pedal setup was instantly recognised. I didn't need to map or bind anything for it to be playable and drivable, and it worked straight out of the box. So that was indeed a pleasant surprise. So hats off to MSG for this one, because there's a lot of titles that get released fully furbished that, you know, don't have that, and you have to go in and set everything up. So, you know, the fact that this was the case is actually quite impressive. Next up, it actually plays and looks pretty good. Wasn't difficult to get set up. Does look pretty good, particularly given it's on the R-Factor 2 engine. Looks really quite impressive, particularly in replays for that, and I've not had any game-ending crashes on it at all. So overall, yeah, I'm actually quite impressed by this and quite enjoying it in a lot of ways. Over to the cons side of things, and we have, well, it does suffer from the usual and expected R-Factor 2 bugs, indicating, you know, quite clearly what platform it's based on. So some of these range from minor annoyances, like the fact that it takes an absolute age, even off of an SSD, to load up the events. It really does, far longer than you would expect it to. You think you're still working off of a physical drive when this happens. Next up, we have little really much more annoying things, such as force feedback will occasionally just disappear, and you have to effectively restart the title to get that back, because I can't remember the hotkey combination to restart force feedback from R-Factor 2, which probably would help. Next is just a limitation of the series itself, given that it's, you know, it's the WEC and the 2023 championship. You don't have a huge number of tracks to choose from, you don't have a huge number of vehicles to choose from, but that's as it is in the series, so it feels a bit cruel putting that one down as a con, but for a lot of people it is going to be an issue. And the final one is, I don't personally think the force feedback is quite there yet. Track-wise it's excellent. excellent because R-Factor 2's laser scan tracks are always excellent, but in terms of the amount of grip and what the car's doing, I feel it's a bit light, certainly on my T300 setup anyway, and could do with improving in that regard, particularly when the tyres are cold. It's hard to know exactly what is going on with them, which does make it a bit tricky. So yeah, there's my initial thoughts, a quick pros and cons for Le Mans Ultimate, given I've only had a short amount of time with it. If you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new content gets uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.